And welcome back to Bits and Caffeine, everybody. We have an interesting one for you guys today. It's about Microsoft. They had a leak, and it's about CS2. Please tell me you're going to mute that, but also maybe not.
I don't even know what that sounded like. So if anybody didn't hear that decided that I muted it. I was just trying to annoy Alex when we were starting the recording. Our second start of the recording, actually.
Our second start. Yes, that was my bad. I thought I was recording for maybe about 5 minutes, and I just it wasn't. It was always going to happen at some point.
Are you recording now?
I am recording now. Yes, we are good. We are good now.
All right, perfect. Anyway, Alex, how have you been?
I've been good. Tired, but it's not bad. That's what caffeine's for.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. I've been good as well. I just woke up late while watching an F1 race in the morning because it was in Japan, but all good all around. Red Bull won.
Makes
favorite
sense.
team. Let's go. But anyways, let's get a little bit into the news here. Alex, care to start us off?
Sure. Today, our news section, like I already kind of mentioned, is about a Microsoft leak, which is Sky already knows a little bit about this, but it's a major Microsoft leak, potentially one of the biggest ones in Microsoft's history. But it's leaked emails and a lot of their leaked plans with different companies and games with those companies and stuff like that, including companies they plan to acquire. They had some leaked emails and just plans with various companies that got leaked, and there was a lot of information about that stuff. There was also stuff leaked about their upcoming console and their console controllers and stuff like that. Just a lot of information that that Microsoft did not want the world to know yet. So they left it.
What was your favorite part about the leak?
My favorite part about the leak, probably the Bethesda stuff, to be honest.
Nice. I'm kind of looking more in the area of seeing how our Xbox reacted to specific things, because you could tell from the leak that the Switch 2 is supposed to be around the same performance as the PS4 and Xbox One, which doesn't sound like a lot because the Xbox One came out years ago and the PS4 came out
but
years
that's
ago.
still
It's a handheld.
big. Mm-hmm.
It is a handheld that can run that. That is really good if that actually works. I know that Xbox and Microsoft were trying to basically buy Nintendo, which that happened a long time ago, where Nintendo just kind of laughed in their faces, but it looks like they were trying to rebuy them again, which...
Yeah, they got plans.
Yeah, they got plans, but I don't know if that's going to actually... I don't think Nintendo's going to do that, but it'll be
That's
cool
fair.
if they do. But
You think so?
I think it would be a good option, especially with kind of the state of gaming right now. I know Microsoft is slowly turning into a monopoly, but
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that would probably bring over a lot of Nintendo games onto the PC market, which a lot of people don't like, but I don't really care. It would be nice to have games available, because pirating, especially Nintendo products, is a really big thing because they won't leave their own platforms.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I don't really have much of a thought on the Nintendo stuff because I don't really play Nintendo games or Nintendo stuff. I think my sister has a Switch, but that's about as close as I am to any Nintendo products. Since the Wii, which I think I got rid of in 2014 or 2015. So yeah,
I miss my Wii. I don't have it anymore. There's a lot of games that I want to play on it again, but I just don't have a Wii.
Fair. There's another big company, though, which you probably have a little bit more of a voice behind, that I know that Microsoft was planning on acquiring, or at least was thinking about it. That was Valve.
Yeah, no.
No?
Yeah. I don't think I
figured you
Valve. So Valve is actually a company made up of old Microsoft employees, specifically Gaben. It was one, and a couple other people. I know some of the big people back in the day who were in Valve are not there anymore. I think Mark Laidlaw isn't working for Valve anymore, but I could be wrong for that. But I definitely think that they own Steam.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That right there is a huge thing. They make billions of dollars of profit off of either esports, Steam, and other platforms. I don't think Microsoft would be able to buy them. I mean, they could try, and honestly, it would be great to see some collaboration between the two. You could already see Activision moving a lot of their stuff over to Steam. as well as a bunch of other companies are moving over to Steam because they're realizing the concept of having multiple different applications to run your games other than just using Steam is stupid. There could be some type of collaboration, but I don't think they could definitely take Valve and buy it.
That's fair.
And then we also have to get into the factor of monopolies. Yeah,
well, that's what they got into issues with the FTC, I think, earlier this year with Activision, right? Basically,
yeah,
they just didn't want them to become a monopoly.
Yeah, well, I think Sony was really pushing that because they didn't want Microsoft to get the advantage over them. But they failed that, obviously, because now Microsoft is in partnership with Activision, which is actually really big for them.
It is, yeah.
Did you hear about Bungie? Sony trying to get Bungie. They're thinking they'll be putting in more money than Microsoft and Activision. What are your thoughts on that?
I actually don't really know the company Bungie. I heard about that. I think you mentioned it a while back, but I don't really know what Bungie makes or what their games are.
Well, they have some off the top of my head. I know they have. Oh gosh! Oh my god! Now that I brought this up, I can't think of any games they made. I know they made Destiny.
Okay, well that's a big one. Yeah, for sure.
Let's see what else did they make. Oh my god, it's all trash. Okay,
so maybe not.
So Destiny made the Halo series, Halo 2 through Reach.
Okay,
they made Destiny. They made a couple other smaller games. Oni is a big one. I don't know if you've heard of that one. Myth and a couple of other smaller games, but basically the Destiny 2 series or the Destiny series is probably the major game to take out of that
one. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess they're trying to compete with Activision with that series.
I guess, maybe. But I genuinely don't think that'll work.
Yeah, Call of Duty is a little. I mean, obviously Activision has more than Call of Duty, but that's probably the big one. Obviously, they have like World of Warcraft. What's the other series? Diablo, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think Call of Duty is like the big one, the big thing that would draw a lot of people to Microsoft with the acquisition. So yeah.
I definitely think that if they were to get Valve, that would be pretty big.
Oh, that would be huge.
That would be insanely big.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for Valve, if that isn't clear already.
Yeah, no, I know you follow Valve a lot. But like Gabe or whatever his name is, the big guy.
Gabe Newell. I will say that it was a absolute honor to one thing that has always lived in my head for the past year has been I went to Daytona 500 a while back now, and basically what we did for the Daytona 500, or not what we did. Basically, one of the teams that was there was a team called Heart of Racing, which I follow. I love them. They're great. And the company that owns Heart of Racing, well, not the company, one of the co-owners of the Heart of Racing is Gabe Newell. Basically, what this racing team is any money they make off of racing gets brought over to a charity that they owned. I think they own it, or they're in partnership with them. But they won. They won one of the categories, and I was really happy. I was like, "Yeah!" So I send them. I know that people talk about like, "Oh, you could send an email to Gabe." So I sent an email to Gabe, and I was like, "Hey, what are your thoughts?" And I actually got a response in like an hour from him. And
nice.
Since that has been. We actually had an email chain going for a little bit, and oh my god, that was the greatest moment of my life right there. An owner of Valve casually talking to me about racing. That is an experience I did not think I would have.
Yeah.
But anyways, some other major things in the leak were specifically about their new console release, which is called Project Brooklyn. Seems to be a obviously faster console, but from the looks of it, I don't think there's any like disc thing. So it's just going to be only digital,
only cloud-based games. Yeah,
not
digital games.
Cloud-based because they're still you can still install probably, but it definitely feels like it'll be more digital games. It looks like the price is supposed to be around $500, which in the console area is a little pricey, but
actually that's about what I think a Xbox Series X was. especially at the start, right?
I'm not too sure. I don't buy consoles anymore.
Me neither.
And they had the controller as well. Sebile?
Yeah.
Sebile. Which, that's an Xbox controller.
Yeah, I saw it. It doesn't really look that much different, but I saw some stuff about like the haptic feedback and quiet buttons and thumbsticks and stuff like that. So I think some of that actually could be pretty different and pretty cool. But I don't really know how much of a difference it really will be from the current controllers.
I do like the grip they have on the controllers. It looks really nice. But like,
Yeah.
it's an Xbox controller, that's for sure. I don't like. Do you have it pulled up right now, by chance?
No, I was gonna grab my controller. I have an Elite. Oh, shoot, I don't even know where it is. I have one of the Elite controllers, the Elite 2 or whatever. It's like a $150 controller, but it has like the grip stuff that you see on the Sebile or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's very nice. It's a very nice controller. Actually, literally, okay, I found it right here. So it's like this, and of course it has the stuff in the background. That's something else.
Wait, turn the controller around. Let me see the other side, because I was going to talk about this. Okay, so that D-pad that you have on there, right?
Yeah. So I can take this off.
Yeah. I was going to talk about that because actually, so on the controller, from the looks of it, it has a round part around the D-pad, and we have Elite controllers that have that at my house, but I utterly hate that design.
Me too. That's why I use this version. I have the round.
I hate the round design of a D-pad so much. I understand why, but I hate it. I think it's a stupid idea, but it's whatever. It works. That's what matters.
Yeah. Does the Sebile have that or not? I can't remember.
It does. That's why I was going to complain about it. But from the looks,
do you think that they'll come with the stuff that you can take them off, or maybe that'll only be the Elites? Probably, or
you just pay for a different controller. But from the looks of it, at the same time, some of the newer releases and whatnot seem to be. It does have a lot of decent hardware inside of it, which is nice. Okay. They are coming out with another one called Project Elliewood, which I just had up on my screen, but that went away. It basically looks like it's just the Xbox Series X, but it's like a refreshed version of it without the disc thing again.
Okay. I guess it makes sense. I mean, I feel like the discs have just been coming less and less of a thing, especially since Xbox 360, got moved out for the Xbox One. It's just been, more and more to download games has been the big thing. So I could imagine that I think this thing plans to launch in like 2028 is their current goal. So I can imagine that they don't expect many people are going to be trying to buy discs anyway. So
yeah, I'm not a big fan of the move away from discs, but it's whatever. I know I haven't purchased a disc in so long, but I do like physical hardware. A great example of that is the online game Friday the 13th. It was a really old game that came out, and they're basically closing shop with that. Another good example is Assassin's Creed, how they basically just got rid of the game for a bunch of people, one of the Assassin's Creed games. So physical hardware is always nice to have because you know that you will keep it forever, but it's definitely the move that we're taking when going into the future is getting rid of physical hardware. Another good example of stuff that's coming out with that is they're planning on some kind of handheld.
Oh, really?
Yes. From the looks of it, they're looking at a handheld version. Obviously, because handheld is kind of the way right now. I don't think it's the future, but I definitely think that it's. I definitely think a Steam Deck is better than a Switch. I don't know. I don't have much use for it. I do travel a lot for my job, but I definitely think that there is a market for it. Is the best way to put it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I don't buy it to use it every day, kind of thing. That's for sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but kind of looking a little bit more into things. Some other stuff we learned. And shocking revelation, Phil Spencer is actually a nice guy.
I actually, from the stuff I've seen about Phil Spencer, I actually really like the dude. I mean, I haven't seen that much of him, but like, for the CEO of a big part of Microsoft, the Microsoft gaming section, like, He genuinely just seems like a gamer, which I feel like is perfect for somebody in that role. It just seemed more like a gamer than you'd typically expect for someone at that high level.
Well, during the leaks, he was just playing Starfield.
Exactly, yeah, like exactly. And I've seen that he's been caught playing Fallout 76 and stuff, which I think it's just really cool.
Yeah, he's just a really chill guy, and a lot of his emails got leaked about different kind of things, and throughout all of it, he just sounded like a really good boss to the emails, which was a little weird to some people, apparently. I don't know why, but the man is the reason that Xbox Game Pass is so cheap right now.
Yeah.
Compared to what they have on their system, obviously it's going to go up in price eventually, but if you're choosing Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus or whatever the hell it's called, it's definitely the better choice than PlayStation.
Yeah, well, especially because of the PC compatibility. I think.
But some other things. This is more of my area because I don't think Alex has ever played one of these games before. The Yakuza game that's coming out is timed to be an exclusive Xbox Series S. Let's go! Exclusive content. PlayStation isn't getting Yakuza. Let's go! Me, who's like never... I don't use Xbox anymore, so it's like it's kind of bad for me as well if it doesn't go on PC, but that's the point.
It'll probably go on PC. I feel like that's kind of... if it's on Xbox specifically, it'll probably be on PC too. I think. That's how it's kind of seems to be going.
Yeah, it definitely will be at this point. But there's a lot of different kind of releases and whatnot that they're talking about. It's honestly surprising the amount of stuff that got leaked.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's massive, the actual amount of stuff that got leaked, yeah. Yeah,
but from the looks of it, kind of back to one of the other topics we were talking about, they're really trying to push to buy Nintendo and some other companies.
Mm-hmm.
They're also looking at they're doing the whole business corporation type stuff. We're trying to do like sustainability, accessibility, that type of stuff with their different kind of products and whatnot. Looks like they're also working on a gaming keyboard and mouse. I hate the concept of a gaming keyboard.
Fair.
The word gaming on a keyboard does not make it a gaming keyboard. Alex, what keyboard do you have?
Razer. I have a Razer. I have a gaming keyboard.
That's ironic. That was really bad timing. I have a Unicomp mobile. Oh my god. I have a Unicomp Model M keyboard. So basically, it was old IBM keyboards, but not a gaming keyboard at all in the slightest. But it's still cool. But yeah, so it looks like they're really trying to grow in the gaming sphere. There was talks that Phil Spencer stated that if Xbox gaming if Xbox Game Pass subscribers doesn't grow, like the base doesn't grow by 2027, Xbox would leave the gaming industry. That was
wait, Xbox will leave the gaming industry or Microsoft will?
If Game Pass doesn't, Xbox will leave the gaming industry.
What does that even mean?
Well, just basically they're done.
They're just gone. Like, because Xbox doesn't really have anything else, right?
No, it's just under Microsoft, so Xbox would basically be dissolved. Or they would stop doing terrifying stuff like buying up other IPs and whatnot.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. They wouldn't buy stuff like Activision or try to buy Nintendo or Valve and stuff.
Yeah. But there's definitely a couple big things as well. Some other good examples is Elder Scrolls 6 was talked about.
Yeah, well, that was in the big Bethesda roadmap, I think, from 2020. So it was kind of like an old roadmap, but to some extent, it's pretty much come true. Where it's just like Starfield was supposed to be released in 2021, but of course it was released only like a month ago. Actually, I don't even think it's been a full month, but stuff like that. So we're kind of in a way from that roadmap, which is pretty old in itself. We're kind of in the year 2021.
Imagine waiting for Elder Scrolls for so long just for it to not come out on PlayStation.
It might not, I guess, at this point. I don't know what anyone's saying, but
no, it won't.
I see it.
That's the talks, is that it won't be coming out to PlayStation. So I'm sorry for anybody who plays on the PlayStation, but buy an Xbox or a PC.
Yeah.
Buy a PC.
Yeah, I think 2026 is when Elder Scrolls is planning on coming out. And a couple of other ones. They have Oblivion and Fallout 3 they're planning on remastering, which is definitely kind of cool. I've played Fallout 3 and I loved Fallout 3, although I still love Fallout 4 better, probably because it's like one of the first big RPGs I ever played. But Oblivion I've never played, but I'm sure I will if it gets remastered.
Yeah. Some other good things that kind of came up was Phil noticing the leaks and talking about the leaks, which was the big thing. Pulling up his tweet now. Reading the tweet, it says, "We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It is hard to see that our teams weren't shared in this way because so much has changed, and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share real plans when we're ready." So I definitely feel like with this leak, they're going to be changing up a few things and getting rid of a few things. But, well, that's only time will tell with those. But it would be really nice if we can get some kind of updates on it.
It's fair.
It's really surprising the amount of stuff that Xbox owns game-wise, like game studios.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they recently acquired Bethesda. That was a big one. Yep.
Can you guess other studios? Guess some studios.
Honestly,
and I'll tell you.
Honestly, I don't really know that many studios' names. I mean, obviously I don't know if they fully acquired Activision yet. I know that like they're moving forward and they're going to, but
they basically have.
Of course, there's that one. Yeah. So obviously Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, right? Or Blizzard was under Activision actually, right?
Blizzard, they have, yes.
Yeah. I don't really know that many game studios by names, to be honest, though.
All right, I will give you a list of them, as well as some games they made. From what I know, 343 Industries.
Never heard of it.
Original Halo. I think.
Okay.
Let me. Hold on. I'm about to get a lot of hate if that's incorrect. Because they worked on Halo. I just don't remember if it was the original Halo or not. Hold on. Let's slow it on down here.
See Halo Infinite.
Oh, God, they made Halo Infinite. Oh, I'm sorry. It was Bungie. They made the bad Halo.
With the original.
They made the bad Halo. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, I see.
Okay.
Books and media. Oh, that's books.
Continuing on. Playground Games.
I don't know who that is either.
I was going to say PUBG, but I'm realizing now that that's incorrect. Oh my gosh. I am even failing at this. I should have had a list of this. I should have been prepared. Playground Games made some games like Forza Horizon. What? Oh my god, yeah, they are the Forza Horizon creators.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, and Fable. Okay, cool. Yep. So that makes sense. Blizzard, Xbox Game Studio, which makes sense. We have Rare. Do you know who they are?
Nope.
Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Worth a shot. Raven.
Oh yeah, I definitely know who Raven is, but mostly just because it's old Call of Duty.
Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
We got
that's also old Call of Duty, right?
I think so. We got Mojang.
Not Microsoft. Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a list of 3 different games. I'm going to say all at once: Sledgehammer Games, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch.
All Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch more, but I'm going to finish it off with one more because this one's the special one. ID Software. They are the people that made the original Doom.
Oh, okay. I've never actually played the Doom games.
They are really big, and you need to play them.
Okay.
I'm making that very clear right now.
As in, like in a few weeks, that's your game.
Yep. No.
Okay.
No, we'll be getting to the game shortly. This is my game this time around.
Yeah.
Finishing off this segment, we're going to talk a little bit more real quickly on Microsoft and how they're going to go about doing this. What are your thoughts on how are they going to take this leak? How do you think they're going to take it, and if it's going to be bad?
I don't know. I mean, I think for Microsoft, it's pretty bad because a lot of the stuff that they were planning on probably keeping secret and then revealing is like, hey, we did this, or hey, we're planning on doing this. just got like released. I don't feel like they're probably going to change up too much about what they're doing. But yeah, I think just overall it's pretty bad for Microsoft and how much stuff just got released. Are you okay over there?
I'm good. Continue.
Okay. But yeah, I think for like the fans and everything, it's kind of cool because we get to see, the stuff that they have in the works. But of course, most of that stuff's years away. Like Elder Scrolls, of course, not coming out for another 3 years, but who knows? That could also be delayed more. Of course, Fallout 3 remastered, Oblivion remastered, stuff like that's just cool for the fans to see, but kind of bad for Microsoft because they were probably planning on being like, hey, we're going to be releasing this. And, now there's no longer a surprise if they release it. And now if they don't end up releasing it because it's been spoiled, now everyone's going to be like, hey, why didn't you release that, etc. So I think overall for Microsoft, it's not very good. But I don't think it's terrible. And I think pretty much they're not going to change too much about how they are going to do things. And like how Phil Spencer kind of did, like, mostly just a response of how, they didn't really want this to happen, but it's not really going to probably change too much. So I think that's overall how Microsoft is going to respond to it.
Well, they're definitely giving their competition a example on where to go because now their competition, Sony, all the other companies really understand what Microsoft is up to. Great!
Yeah, to some extent, yeah.
That's exactly what we need for competition purposes. But otherwise, I think they're gonna. I definitely think they're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna bring them down like Unity from last week's episode.
Exactly.
That their Unity's potentially just done, but Microsoft is gonna be fine. I mean, this will probably hurt them a little bit, but they'll be fine.
Update on Unity, they apologized and they are changing their stuff, but we're not too sure what it is of right now as of the time of recording. Anyways. We will be going to ad break, and we'll be coming back. We'll be playing the game of the week, or in this case, Host Trials, until the name is changed.
Wait, are we still calling it Host Trial? Okay.
I don't know yet. We'll just say game of the week for right now, but still hosting. So hosting game of the week, I don't know. But when we come back, we'll be playing the game of the week, which in this case will be Counter-Strike 2. Bye-bye!
Have you ever felt sad? I did. But then my doctor prescribed me Zatruch. Now, my music plays to a different beat. Zatruch will make you happy. And if Zatruch can't make you happy, then nothing will. Ask your doctor if Zatruch is right for you. Some side effects include swelling, coughing, and internal bleeding. After taking Zatruch, you might begin to feel dizzy and have intermittent seizures. Many people who take Zatruch find themselves sleepwalking throughout the night and suddenly have an intense bloodlust. Zatruch isn't right for everyone. If you're taking Zatruch and you experience necrosis of the skin and you feel like you're dying, you might need to contact your doctor. I'm glad that I found Zatruch. I don't know what I would have done without it. I still don't. Thanks, Zatruch.
And we're back for another installment of Host Trials. On this episode of Host Trials, I am your host today, here with Alex. And we'll be playing a lovely little beta game called Counter-Strike 2. Alex, what experience do you have with Counter-Strike?
Not much. Probably about 20 hours, and all of which probably with you. Some just like in competitive games. But most of that I think was like outside before we were hopping into the competitive stuff. It was kind of fun though.
Now this does kind of break the Host Trial rules where you haven't played the game before. That's the whole kind of focus on Host Trials. For those who don't know what Host Trials is basically one person comes in with a game that the other one hasn't played. We talk about it. We then play the game, which you can find on our YouTube channel. Check that out at bitsandcaffee.com. And basically afterwards we come back, commercial break, and then we talk about the game. Simple as that. Really easy to explain. Anyways, we'll be going over a little bit of an explanation what Counter-Strike is. Counter-Strike is basically the pioneer of FPS. That's it. That's all you need to know. Good night, everybody.
I don't know if I fully agree with that, but that's
No, I wouldn't consider that the pioneer of FPS. But Counter-Strike goes back a very long ways, and obviously it's a very popular game. The newest installment of Counter-Strike came out in 2012, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which you have played.
Yes. Basically,
Very simple game design. 5 terrorists, 5 counter-terrorists, bomb defusal. It goes to, I think it's 13 rounds now, or 13 wins, but I'm not too sure. They've been changing a lot of stuff with it. One of the major things, and why I'm basically allowing this to be a host trials episode, is that they are upgrading the game a lot from its original kind of standpoint. The gameplay is still the same, but a lot of the different designs in the game, as well as different features, make the game a lot more original and feel a lot more modern compared to 2012 CSGO.
Makes sense. I guess one question I have for you is the mechanics. Do like the actual gun mechanics and shooting and moving around, does that feel any different?
That usually feels the same for the most part. One of the bigger mechanics involved is actually the nades. The smoke was a really big thing because of how they set that up. You're allowed to shoot through it, and you can actually see through the smoke.
Yeah, I saw
it's like
that.
It's more realistic smoke.
Yeah, it's very cool. Which actually,
it looks pretty nice. Some of the major things about the game, some of the big changes is the graphics. It's a lot of a brighter game now. They took a lot of the UI designs. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the UI designs kind of feel like it's from Valorant.
Okay.
Because of the it's just really bright. There's a little button on the bottom, or like a little icon on the bottom, which shows you the amount of kills you get and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of it. It's too much on the screen, but some people like it. So
fair enough.
Eyes of the beholder, I guess. But from what there's not been a serious announcement on when the game will release, but as of recently, Counter-Strike, the official Twitter, posted saying, "What are you doing next Wednesday?" So everyone has now established that as it being the release date for Counter-Strike 2.
Okay.
But some of the talking points about the game that I have is basically it's supposed to just be a modern version of Counter-Strike. There's not much different in the way from just the normal setup. They have a new matchmaking system in terms of more of like how the levels are shown and whatnot. They have a premiere mode, which basically allows you to take out certain maps and whatnot. Okay. Which is honestly, all of it's just really well designed. And I was really glad to be the first person, like the first group of people to get Counter-Strike 2 in the first release batch. But a lot of it's just quality of life stuff. That's the main thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so have you heard anything about Counter-Strike 2?
Mostly just like the kind of how the smoke mechanics and like the map, I guess, kind of is different and stuff. The smoke mechanics was really cool. I think you sent me a video on this like a few months back. It's it's just essentially how like it'll track through the bullet and you'll be able to see through the smoke where the bullet was, which is just something you don't see in games. It's just very cool, and the how they rendered all of that, I think, very, very new, very modern, something that obviously you wouldn't have seen in the 2012 game, but like something you still don't see in games released now. It's just something unique and makes it a very realistic shooter. It just makes it like pertains to that specific part about Counter-Strike being realistic, I think. It's pretty cool, the stuff I've seen, but it's mostly just like visual stuff that I've seen so far.
Okay. Yeah, so for those who do not know, I have about 3.1k hours in Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Christ.
I played a lot as a kid, and I joined my college esport team for a little bit. But we're not going to talk about those times. I have a very big love for the game, Counter-Strike. It's very close to my heart. I definitely feel like out of all the shooters, Counter-Strike is one of the big ones, and I think that, in my opinion, it's better than Call of Duty. It's better than Battlefield. It's just a more comfortable game all around. I personally am not a big fan of hero shooters, so I don't like Valorant
Fair.
and stuff like that. But Counter-Strike is just the perfect mix. I like the gunplay, even though it can be aggravating. I like everything about it, especially just the tactics of it as well.
Yeah.
But another really big thing, I mean, do you like spending money?
I think it depends on what money, what stuff I'm spending the money on.
Do you like gambling?
Not really, actually. And I definitely don't like spending $30 on a fake knife.
Well, it's a real shame because this episode is sponsored by CSGO Lotto Money Get Now Snazzy.com.
Isn't that one of your friends?
Thank you all. Thank you all for the sponsor for today. Counter-Strike has dealt with a lot of controversy because of gambling problems with skins, because skins equals money. A lot of Valve games currently have that kind of setup with the marketplace. But skins look cool. Obviously, you don't need to buy them if you don't want to, but it's definitely skins are definitely a lot cheaper than some other skins from other games. Cough, cough, Valorant.
How much are the skins in Valorant?
I am not paying $20 for a gun skin.
Oh, fair enough.
I can pay like $10, less than $20. I can pay less than $20 for about a whole entire inventory of CSGO skins rather than a one skin for $20 that has some like visuals that get distracting after the first 5 minutes of gameplay.
Fair enough.
They're not distracting. They're not animated, none of it, but visually Counter-Strike 2 makes the skins look so much better.
Okay.
And they have little animated cutscenes at the beginning now and whatnot that look really cool. I actually decently like the cutscenes at the beginning of rounds, which is a little weird to say. But yeah, I mean, have you had any kind of questions on Counter-Strike or CS2?
Not really. I guess from a this has basically nothing to do with Counter-Strike, but just in terms of gun skins and stuff like that. My favorite thing about the Call of Duty ones that have come out recently, and it's not a gun skin, but it's a talking attachment that you can put on your gun, and it's literally not actually an artificial intelligence, but it's called Meg, I think, or Gwen or something like that, and it will literally say things. It has like 30 voice lines that as you go around shooting people and stuff like that, and I may or may not have spent $30 just to get that, but but it was worth it.
You see, I am the type of person, I do not like animated things.
That's fair. I think it makes it that's maybe one of my favorite things that Call of Duty has done that most people don't like. It's just like the overall like overtly visual stuff. I don't love all of it per se, but like they added superpowers to Warzone not that long ago, and I think that's terrible. I actually genuinely hated that. You know, The Boys, the TV series? Yeah. They added a lot of The Boys, or not. They added 3 of The Boys' superpowers onto it, like laser eyes, laser vision, and like a shock power thing. It's terrible, actually. You like inject yourself with a thing, and then you got the superpowers for a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty okay. It's pretty bad. I don't
know how to feel about that, but all right.
Yeah, it's I genuinely hated that. But the one thing I loved about the stuff recently was the talking gun, which I have. And it's either Gwen or Meg. I don't remember. I can never remember the actual name of the gun, but that's it. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely like Counter-Strike more than like Call of Duty and Valorant in terms of skins, because it's Call of Duty definitely, or not Call of Duty, Counter-Strike definitely has. I don't like animated stuff personally. Fair. So I like just the default stuff that Counter-Strike has. It looks really nice. I wish I could have a knife, but they're really expensive. Hey Alex, can I have like $200?
We're not in college anymore.
But yeah, so it's definitely the skins are definitely, even if it doesn't sound like it, they are definitely a big part of Counter-Strike. Whether people like it or not, it's definitely a really big portion of Counter-Strike. Yeah. Valve does make a decent chunk of change off of it. Now, I'm not recommending people go onto gambling sites, so don't. I'm saying that now. Do not go onto gambling sites. You will not win. Even though it looks like even though it looks like streamers are winning, they're probably getting paid. So keep that in mind. But I definitely feel like Counter-Strike 2 is it's definitely a needed upgrade.
Yeah.
And it just looks nice. Honestly, I have no problems with it right now. Some people do. I don't personally, but it just looks nice. That's all I gotta say about that, honestly.
What are the problems that some people have about it?
Some people are just not a big fan of the tick rate. People wanted 128 tick, and Counter-Strike is kind of doing a mix of tick rate. I'm not too sure how to explain their tick rate system because it's a little confusing even to me. I don't really follow it too much. But it's just basically a way for multiplayer connections and whatnot.
Okay.
But what they're trying to do is make it so tick rate doesn't matter, and using stuff like sub-tick updates, which I'm not too sure what it is specifically because it's not my kind of field. It is really interesting to look at and really interesting for them to explain it and whatnot. But yeah, definitely something that I would recommend looking a little bit more into because I'm not too sure.
Is tick rate kind of like a frame rate kind of thing?
I would say, yeah, it's just kind of like the way that the multiplayer works in connection with everything.
Okay, I guess
So
I could see how
movement.
I could see how they maybe try to just make it even for everybody, regardless of what kind of computer you have. If you have like a high end versus low end, they try to make it a little bit more even. I could see that. That might be
It's just like
what kind of is.
Yeah, it's just player movement and whatnot. It just depends on what you have.
Okay.
It's very interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, we're going to be going in and playing the game now. Are you prepared, Alex?
Absolutely not, but I'm ready. Kind of.
Is your Call of Duty skills going to connect over to Counter-Strike?
I think we both know that answer is no.
No, it's not. Anyways, if you want to look at it, the video should be uploaded at the same time this is uploaded. You can check out our YouTube channel as well as our other social medias and where we stream our podcasts on bitsandcaffeine.com. So just click on that, go to YouTube, and you'll find the video of us playing the game, little funny moments that Alex edits. So if there's any problems, blame Alex.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can also see it in the description down below, which will be another way for us, another link over to our website. So we will see you all on the other side.
See y'all soon.
And we're back. We took a couple days off to get Alex's mind situated, as well as waiting, because today we are recording on September 27th.
Mm-hmm.
And it is officially the release of Counter-Strike 2. Literally, the game released about 2 hours ago.
Yep.
Haven't played. Alex hasn't played since, but it's released now, and it's as good as I thought it would be. But Alex, what were your thoughts on our little gameplay that we had?
I think it was pretty fun. Definitely think it was a good idea to play with a few of your friends and stuff. Definitely think that led to just more like fun gameplay and stuff. I think the biggest thing for me was I kind of went in. Obviously, I was really terrible the first couple of games, and for anybody that watches our YouTube videos, you'll see that a couple of times when I'm like, I'm supposed to like plant this bomb over on B site, but I'm over here fumbling, throwing my guns, trying to get the bomb out, and then I actually throw the bomb. It was pretty funny. I mean, honestly, it probably made me look like I don't know what I'm doing at all with those, but to some degree with keyboards, like I'm really good with a controller with first-person shooters and stuff like that, like being able to like move, adjust and stuff like that, but and I don't think I'm terrible with keyboard and mouse, so like moving around and stuff, but when it comes to switching weapons and getting the bomb out and stuff like that, I'm just like button mashing and it's terrible.
You see, this is why our logo has a keyboard as well as a controller on it.
Yes, I'm the controller.
The purple keyboard for me, the green controller for Alex.
Yeah. I can't be caught gaming on a keyboard. Not for a first person shooter, at least. If I were like to play The Witcher or something, like I'm pretty good on a keyboard with that. That's fun. But I mean, it was definitely I don't think I think as the games went on, I think the first game, I think we played 4. The first game was I was pretty terrible. I don't think anyone expected otherwise. That was the second game, didn't really get much better, maybe a little bit better. The third game, I got an ace, and it was like I actually like was pretty decent. I mean, I don't think I didn't carry the team or anything like that for sure, but I was up there.
I don't even remember what happened during that ace. I don't think I was around you when that happened.
You were actually. I've been through editing the video and everything like that, which is probably why I know a little bit more about how poorly I did. But yeah, I was going through that. You were hiding behind this thing, and you got a couple shots in on a guy, but I killed 2 guys as they came around the corner, and then you were like, they didn't notice me or something like that. And then
okay.
Yeah, that was the ace. Yeah. But even like past that, I think
that was on banana.
Yeah, banana. Or by the
Banana
car.
Inferno.
Yeah.
That's banana.
I only know a few callouts from any of those maps, and that's about it.
You gotta learn your callouts, man. Come on.
I played that map once.
It's a good map, but we have Dust 2 back now on the original pool, so
yeah,
now that was choose out.
That was probably the map I knew the most because I think that was the one we really played when I played the first CS:GO or CS:GO. Yeah.
The first CS:GO. That was like Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't play CS:GO until, I mean, it was probably this year. I think was the first time I'd ever played it with you guys, and it was like I played maybe once or twice with y'all, maybe 2 hours tops. Yeah.
I think so. But it's definitely a big experience to kind of go from Call of Duty games to CS:GO, especially with the shooting mechanics.
For sure, yeah.
That was a really difficult
yeah.
thing to get over when running and shooting is not a recommendation in CS:GO at all.
Yeah, y'all will see me like a couple of times just like aiming for their heads, when in reality I probably should have been aiming more for the body because I know it's going to recoil up. I remembered that, but it was terrible. And then of course there was the time where I pulled out, what's it called, the auto?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of your friends just goes like, Alex, I'm gonna need you to throw that off the map right now. And I'm just like, what do you mean? And then 3 of them turn the corner, I pop off all 3 of them, and then another guy turns the corner while I'm reloading and kills me. And I'm like, I think y'all are laughing because I got 3 kills, and that was like the first time that had happened. But no, y'all were laughing because I lost the game. Alright, I should have lost the game.
There is a very simple rule that I forgot to explain before the ad break, and that was, do not buy the auto. It's not a set in stone rule, but it's basically a gentleman's agreement not to buy an auto. Once one person buys an auto, the enemy team buys an auto, and then it just becomes unfun. So, thankfully they didn't buy an auto after that fact, but
it was close.
They were close, especially with you mowing down 3 of their guys.
I did, yeah.
No one realized that you had an auto until
right before, yeah.
Yeah, everyone cut in screaming at you on our team.
Yeah.
To throw it out of the map.
Yeah, I think you and another guy typed, he was like, Starry, he's new.
Yeah, exactly. You better have that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was, I think overall the gameplay was hella fun. I think probably especially because we had a full team. A little bit terrifying for somebody that didn't know what they're doing, probably, though, because it was like competitive, and I don't think any of those people were that great per se, but like I got mowed down in the first 2 games. I did pretty decent in the third game, and then the fourth game I was like, all right, wasn't terrible, but I also wasn't great. But at the same time, like I feel like it's a game where it takes a while for you to get really good at the game, you know, or at least pretty decent.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah,
it takes a long time to kind of get the grasp of how CS:GO works, and they don't change it frequently, but they change it enough to the point where it kind of keeps it going. I mean, we had the whole issue 2 years ago now, or plus 2 years ago, like 5 years ago, where the R8 came out, and then there was a whole issue with that where it was too powerful that one shot to the body kills you, and it was cheaper than the Deagle. But definitely the Valve changes the game up a lot from time to time. It's a lot different than it used to be, but with the new update with CS2, it's good so far. I'm really hoping that it stays good. I will pick CS:GO over Valorant any day of the week.
Fair enough.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that community servers come back online. That's a real big thing in CSGO that I didn't show you was community servers.
Yeah.
I think half of my hours were spent surfing instead of actually playing CSGO.
That's that's a lot of hours, buddy. That's
Surfing. I used to be very big in a combat surf server called Lobster. It's not there anymore. The
Mhm.
server went down a year ago or so. I used to be big into it in high school to the point where like I would join and people would know who I was.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then I stopped joining. And then I joined like a year later and like a couple people still knew me, but I was just like I didn't find the same interest in surfing again. But
Fair.
now that I have interest in surfing, nobody does surfing anymore. So that's lovely.
Oof.
There's no combat surfing. Combat surfing is a dead. I would say it's a dead game mode. Definitely.
How
But, yeah.
how I remember that you when I actually met you, you were on the CS:GO team. How long were you on the CS:GO team for
I was on
college?
there. I was on there for about a semester. Yeah, 1 to 2 semesters.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just wondering
So-
because I remember that was like a really big thing. I didn't know anything about CS:GO at the time, and I mean I still probably didn't for a while after that, but yeah, I remember that was like a big thing because you had a jersey and everything, right?
Yeah, I sucked at it.
I doubt
But
that.
I wasn't that good, but I definitely had no interest in. I thought I had interest in competitive, but I realized it was.
A lot.
I had more fun screwing around my own way.
Fair. Yeah.
But yeah, so but all in all, Alex, what were your thoughts? Like, what kind of rating would you give the game? Let's go to the rating section of
Rating.
this episode.
Honestly, it's a very well built game. I think from bottom to the top, I think I got to give it a 9.
Well, the thing is that you played the beta. That wasn't even the full game.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's at the end of the day, it's not that much different from CS:GO. Of course, like the visuals look better, and I think I could definitely tell. The visuals look.
My computer
way
runs hotter.
better. Yeah, my computer always runs hot. My computer runs loud too. But yeah, like I think I gotta give it a 9. Well, I mean, not particularly because of how many things they changed between CS:GO and CS2, but just because of how well of a game, how much like work they put into it, how realistic it is, and how stuff like that. I guess that's probably
Yeah.
So I think around a 9.
It seems realistic. Obviously, the spray is probably not too realistic, but in all, the gameplay is genuinely a more realistic shooter.
Yeah.
I'm more into that stuff. So
That's
I mean,
fair.
a great example is look at battle royales. What was your favorite battle royale?
Warzone, but I barely really played any battle royales.
Warzone.
Yeah,
Warzone's the only
Warzone.
one you can think of.
Warzone's the only. I think it's the only one I've ever played.
So okay, let's do this. Let's take Fortnite and PUBG. I guess
Okay.
Warzone too, but Warzone has superpowers now, so I think that really works with what I'm
It
going for.
hurts. It hurts. But yeah.
But so let's take PUBG and Fortnite for example.
Okay.
Both came out around the same time. I mean, PUBG came out before, but both came out relatively the same time.
Mhm.
I was way more of a PUBG fan due to its realism. Fortnite, I was not a big fan of.
Fair.
I don't know. I enjoy realistic games more than I enjoy more wacky stuff. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's why I do Counter Strike over Call of Duty, Battlefield, all that.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, Call of Duty, before they added, like Snoop Dogg and like a lot of like superpowers and all that stuff. Thankfully, the superpowers are just in Warzone, so it's not that terrible. But before they added that stuff, I mean, it at least looked pretty realistic. And my favorite thing about Call of Duty 2, which you played a little bit of, but not that much, is ranked, which is, I guess, just like the CSGO's version of like competitive. But that's because I've also been playing Call of Duty since I was 14, 15, and I've gotten pretty decent at it, at least with the controller.
I've been playing Call of Duty for a long time, but it's just, I don't know. Switching over to PC, I found Counter Strike to be the best option.
Fair.
But yeah, anyways, other than that, do you have any other talking points in terms of what your thoughts were on the game? What were your thoughts on map orientation and whatnot?
I think the map orientation was pretty good. I don't think I played enough of any of the maps to really get to really truly know all of them. I mean, I think I know. We played 3 different maps, I think. I'm pretty sure. If we played, I don't remember their names, but we played the Skyline one
played
twice.
We played Vertigo, which is the Skyline one.
Mm-hmm.
We played Inferno, which is the one you got the ace on.
Yeah.
And we played Mirage, which was... No, we didn't play Mirage.
Played this
map?
one.
I
It
forgot
had
what
Bank.
maps were.
Bank and Long.
Oh, Overpass. We played Overpass.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Vertigo, Overpass, and I already forgot.
Inferno.
Inferno. Yeah.
I gotta say Inferno's my favorite, but that's probably just because that was the one I did. Maybe I understood the map the most. That's why I did better in that one than the other ones. Or maybe it's just a matter of luck at the beginning, which is totally plausible. But yeah, I think all of the maps were pretty decent. Vertigo, I remembered at least a little bit from the previous game, because I think I had at least played that once or twice, and the other 2 I'd never seen before. But I think, I think the map design was pretty decent. I don't normally gauge too much on the maps and stuff like that, aside from Call of Duty, where they put a bunch of bombs or a bunch of explodable cars in a straight line, and it makes for a very, very not enjoyable time. But aside from that, I don't really typically judge maps that much. But the CS:GO or CS2 maps were pretty decent, the ones I played.
Yeah, I definitely think that the map design has been developing over the years. There's been small little changes. Vertigo has gone insane amount of changes from what it used to be. Yeah. But all in all, they definitely kind of update. A lot of their maps now are community made. There are thousands of maps on the market or on the workshop. So there's a bunch that you can choose from if you have any interest. There's a bunch of Call of Duty maps on the workshop too. Don't tell Activision that.
Really? But, interesting.
Yeah. Just remakes and whatnot. I used to I made a map for CS:GO 2, but we're not going to talk about that. But all in all, any final thoughts on the game?
No. I mean, I guess just if you're somebody who's never played the game, looking to get into it, it's definitely a very fun game. But I would definitely play it with friends, people that you know, to start off with, so that they'll kind of help you out, tell you what to do, etc., and stuff like that. And just stick with it, because it's definitely a game that'll take you a few games. Even if you're proficient with first-person shooters, it's definitely a game that will take you a few in-game games to get used to it. So, yeah.
Well, in all, it was a pretty good time. Mm-hmm. Definitely 100% recommend going to Bits and Caffeine on YouTube and watching the video, because genuinely some really funny moments on there. But all in all, you can check us out at bitsandcaffeine.com. Link is in the description down below. Do you have anything to say, Alex?
No.
Well, in that case, we'll be leaving it off here. We will see you guys next Friday for our next episode of Byte-Sized Weekly. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.